Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are back live once again for the 2020 WCVNEA out of the Cambridge Hotel, Red Deer, Alberta. Scotch doubles action coming at you. It is in the novice division. Novice intermediate, I guess they're calling it. And it is myself, Grant, joined by the one and only, the infamous Mr. Ben Francis.
What's up, everyone? So I figure what we'll do here, since we don't know the names of the players,
Yes.
is we'll just wait till they mark the score sheet, and then we'll go check to see who marked, because we'll know who won the first game, and then we're okay.
Then
from
we're
there.
okay. I like it.
That's usually better than like asking somebody what their name is, and then they tell you, and you're like, "Yeah, I knew that."
Well, in
Gets
this particular one should be easier to do because we have a husband and wife team.
Yeah, so it could be, but like you just never know either, right? Could still be tough.
It's tough. So welcome back, guys. We are going to deal with the cards that we've been dealt as best as what we can. Bear with us. Eventually, maybe Ben and I will know all 1,500 players that come to play at the WCVNEA, but that's a long eventuality.
Or like every pool player in Canada, as somebody was saying earlier.
Yes. That would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, if you could just say you knew every player in any country.
Yeah.
Canada's a big place.
Although pool is growing, and so I don't think you could ever accomplish something
No,
like
you
that.
couldn't.
A couple should never, ever play Scotch together.
It's funny.
I subscribe to that theory.
Yeah,
Steph
and
and I have never played.
And it's funny James brings that up because it is pretty rare to see. I think a lot of people subscribe to that theory. They don't want to play with their spouse.
I am definitely one of those. And nothing against Steph's play. Steph plays really well.
It's just too personal.
She actually plays with you.
She's a fantastic Scotch player too. She's got the right mind for the game. But it is too close to home.
Yeah.
I can't blame you for not playing Scotch with her.
Yes. And so, welcome back. I know just as I was shutting down, I went over to Jam Up Nation and said if there were any questions about it, to hold them. If you do have any questions about it, feel free to ask away. But that program is certainly one I want to get behind. I'd love it if you guys would adopt that as well. I think, and Ben, you weigh in on Jam Up Nation, what you think. I love the program. I love the fact that Jam Up has decided to kind of take that step and be the leaders in that respect.
And that was what I brought up earlier too, was I hope everyone follows suit. I hope it's kind of like Jam Up sets the precedent. This is what everyone should be doing, right?
I agree. A little bit of outside of the box thinking in terms of putting together kind of a discount program. So it's not something that, I mean, yes, you're going to spend 25 or 50 bucks depending on what type of discount you want. But I know myself, and I can probably speak for you here, that I've done a whole lot worse with 25 or 50 bucks.
Oh, yeah.
But to get behind that and show some support for those juniors, that to me is close to my heart because it is the future of our sport. And I hope you guys do. I hope you get behind it.
Well, and like you say, the price, you can't go wrong either. Like,
no, I mean, honestly,
it's not like you're spending hundreds of dollars.
Well, and you get 10% off on the $25 level. You get 20% off. That's for the full year.
Which can hugely add up to 20%
off
for the year.
I guarantee you. Once you see the quality of what we produce at Jam Up, you're going to get more. I can tell you that. And the 10 or 20% discount that you're going to save more than pays that $25 or $50 membership fee.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, if you're all pool players out there, which I'm sure you are, it's like one small bar tab on a league night.
Yeah. Yeah.
like a meal and a drink.
Yeah. It's, I mean, let's be honest, we've all done worse with 25 or $50. So.
Exactly.
And I don't mean to kind of push so hard with it. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the fact that, hey, I'm now part of Jam Up, because we're not keeping the money, right? It's not something that we're, hey, look what we can do and bank a bunch of money. We're here to support the juniors. That's by way of the Billiard Education Fund in the States, or the CBSA and their junior program in Canada.
I know it hits close to home for you too, because you have kids.
I do.
That I'm sure you hope can play pool one day too.
Well, and
but hopefully it's worthwhile to play.
Well, and that's it. That's the whole name of the game. And I think in combination between what Q Sports Live does and now with Jam Up, a few of the other things that between the two that we've got coming down the lines, we're hoping to really have a good influence on the game, and potentially a little bit of game-changing stuff coming down the line, if we can make everything happen. And in order to do that, in order to accomplish it, that's where you guys come in, because we need that support.
You'll see a young Zemp and a young Francis at some point playing in these events, I'm sure of it. I don't think those kids will want to do anything else. So.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I got the names wrong. I'm confused. This isn't J Rolls and C Rolls match. Am I on the wrong table?
Oh, we're just watching the wrong table. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We're still on the first game here, guys. So,
Yes.
I was watching outside the screen, and I didn't even notice that either.
Yeah.
But I guess the names are...
Now the names are wrong.
So you just got to flip-flop the scoreboard, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's do it this way.
Or just copy and paste. That works as well.
Hopefully it works. Beauty.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So it is still the first game, I believe. Whoops.
Yeah, it's still first game here. And they're racing to 3.
Well, I was half right. I had the names right, but just not on
Just not on the right table.
the right table. And then a race to 3. Correct?
3, yeah.
There we go. We're fixed.
We got it now. You guys are just in time to possibly watch somebody win this game, because there's a ball in hand here. That can help.
That always helps the situation.
Except when you reach for the cue ball and you pull out a 2 ball, which is what happened there. Sometimes these tables, they got weird balls where the cue ball should be.
Well, and it's this table specifically. This is the one that Johnny and I were practicing on, and I would say almost every rack there's going to be one ball that goes down to the...
What's odd is it's not always the same ball.
Yeah, it's
It's like a
kinda
random
weird.
ball every time.
Hey, there you go, Chantal. Go, Christine. You could help us out.
Yeah. Which one is
Which
Christine?
is Christine. And I'm glad that you actually put her first name in, because I didn't know what the C stood for. Now I do, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And if you happen to know what J stands for, whether it's John or Jim or
I
Joe,
would have to imagine she
That'd be great.
probably knows too. If they are husband and wife, maybe they're brother and sister.
Yes.
Who knows? Never thought of that.
for sure.
You could play scotch with your brother or sister, right? Because when they miss a ball, you just give it to them, right?
Take them out back and
Yeah.
pound them,
Yeah.
right? That's her. Very good. Okay.
So they're about to go up 1-0 here.
They are.
With this 8-ball. I almost spoke too soon, but it was like a slight test of the commentary curse there.
I tried to work it. I see it. There we go.
Yeah.
They are husband and wife. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Well, they are brave to play scotch together.
They are. All the kudos to them.
It takes two strong-minded individuals for that job.
Although here's what I like is seemingly, and not knowing them, I'm somewhat guessing, but they seemingly are playing just to have a blast, just to have fun.
Wow, which is so great. But you should especially do that when it's only a race to 3.
Yes.
Because if you come into a race to 3 with high expectations, you will be disappointed
Yes.
probably close to half of the time.
Yeah. Race to 3 is anybody's, and that don't matter what level of play you
No,
are.
that holds true to every single level of play, yeah.
And guys, if you are just tuning in, welcome to Q Sports Live. We are live for the 2020 WCVNEA, played out of the Cambridge Hotel in Red Deer, Alberta. It is Scotch doubles action here this evening. Singles are starting tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. That will run through to just about end of day Saturday. I believe teams will start Saturday evening at some point, I think around 6 o'clock.
That is correct.
Teams will run Saturday evening, all day Sunday, finishing off on Monday.
Make sure you guys are clicking that share button lots for us this weekend. Going to be lots of really great pool. They have the Masters Scotch scheduled to finish at around midnight tonight, so we're hoping we get the final of that. Should be coming up around 11 or 11:30.
Now, are they running behind? Is that going to hold true? Are they going to get caught up to that time frame?
That'll definitely depend how a couple matches that are going right now finish. If they go close, no chance they're going to be like an hour and a half behind.
Yep.
If somebody wins like 4-1, 4-0, it might just catch it up.
We would need a couple of those
Yeah.
to get caught up, because I think they're running about an hour behind.
It'd be like everyone in this bracket that's playing right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about an hour behind. 2 of the matches at least anyway. There. Pretty good looking table here. This is what we were talking
really
about
is,
before.
yeah.
It just breaks super wide open, this one. So we could see.
Does
like
the 10 go by the 2 into that side pocket?
I think it does. It's got to be a little close.
Looks a little bit tight.
Might go off the 6 if it doesn't go straight in.
You could play it in the other side pocket as well.
Yeah, I would like to be shooting this ball, getting straight on the 10, or it's the 12 in the middle, and then roll through to play the 9. But because that 9, there's a small window to get on that ball. Still.
And I think the 8 still goes, even though 7 kind of snuggled up a little bit to it. I think it'll go into that bottom right-hand corner as you look at the table.
Still a little bit of work to be done here for sure. That 9 ball is in such a weird spot.
Does it pass the 3-1 down to that bottom left corner? You think?
That was what I looked at. As soon as I thought it's in a weird spot, will it go like up table instead? Could you lay underneath it? But I don't think it goes up there. I think, if anything, the 1's in the way.
So with the layout here, do you take the 10 and kind of draw just a little farther than where the cue ball is now? Leave yourself the angle on, I think that's the 12 ball, into the top left as you look at the table and kind of punch into the 2.
Yeah, you could do that. That would keep it simple, too. On this shot, you don't have to do too much, right?
Yeah.
But that's
it's still risky.
It's a tall order at this level as well, so you kind of have to factor that in a little bit. Like if you're leaving this for your wife, you don't want to leave her too tough, because then she'll maybe tear into you later, right?
Yeah, it's the couch for you.
Yeah, so. Oh, this actually.
Does it work?
Yeah, at first I thought it might work, but no, I don't think this is going to work.
Because there's no 9-10 combo. I don't think the 9 passes the 8 for the 9-10 or 9-12 or whatever that ball is.
Would be like hit the right side of the 9, go 1 rail, try to freeze on that 12. I think the only ball you can really sell out is the 5 if you don't get there. But still, you're pushing that 9 to not a favorable spot either for later on. Usually it's not the worst idea to get that ball in the open somewhere. Put a little pressure on them.
You know, that is, if the 9 slows up, that's actually not terrible.
Yeah, and that's kind of what she did there, was just try to like get the 9 out in the open, leave them a tough shot, and like put it on them, because now they can't really run and hide anywhere.
Here, I don't think she can get in on the 1 ball.
Yeah, I don't.
7 is tough. I don't think it passes the 9 to the top left-hand corner as you look at the table.
It's tough to tell here. She might have the 1. The 3 in the side is like one of the toughest shots in this game.
Well, it
to the
brings in
super
that top
blind
left
pocket.
hand. Yeah, brings in that top left-hand corner too.
Yeah, I don't know what she has here. She doesn't have a lot. I mean, she might need to find a safe.
Even that, where do you?
That's
if you can chip
6-1.
off the 1.
The 6-1 window is pretty big, so I might hit the 3 and just try to use the 1-6 for cover, but. Or you like shoot into the 3 and draw onto the 8 sort of thing. Use the 8-7 for cover, but that's a little risky too. It's easy to leave one of those balls. She's in tough here. That's why she's taking
You know
a
what?
second
Chip
to
off
think
the
this
top
through.
side of the 3 like you're cutting it, and just leave the cue ball up table.
Yeah, as long
up
as you're
onto
not.
that upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, as long as you're not running into the 9, or like you said,
Yeah,
that top left pocket too can be.
it can be brought into play.
It can definitely be gigantic too. Oh, she tried to back cut it in there. I didn't
Does she
even.
get away with it? I think she
Yeah.
did. I think the 3 came back to be her helper.
There's no way you can see enough to pot it.
Well, you get more or less a live view of that.
Yeah, it's still too far away for me to see how much he's hooked. He's got a jump.
I know
cue.
exactly what Ben Francis would do here.
Yeah, if he had a thumper, he would
Airtime.
have shot it already.
Would have been in the heart of the pocket.
Yeah, I would have been thinking about how do I get shape, not how do I make this ball.
Yeah.
Just be like, do I want to draw back or I want to follow through a little?
Boing time, says Richard. Oh, my goodness.
How does that ball not go in?
The double horn out.
It's a little unfortunate, actually, because he hit that pretty good.
He did.
And I don't know if she
got
had
over
a
that 3 ball.
shot on the 12, but it looks like she might have had a shot on the 12 from there. Won't matter now.
No.
7 ball is obviously the only tricky ball here, but
I think you get on it right now. You take the 2 into that side pocket. Use the 12 as a stopper to hold shape for 7.
it does go in that bottom right
I
by
think
the
so.
8. Gotta be a little bit close.
I don't think it goes looking live now. I thought it would before.
Yeah, you gotta make a plan for that right away if it doesn't go. It definitely goes like in
Well,
both.
we'll know because if at least in my opinion, the right shot here is if that 7 goes, you take the 7.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, then you don't shoot the 6 now. You shoot
Nope.
the 5-1,
Yeah.
and you use the 6 to get underneath the 7 to play the 7 in like one of the left corners. Always want to say top and bottom because I'm so used to like
yeah, we don't
the
often
other
do the
view.
side view.
Yeah. If you guys are wondering why the side view is there and not the straight on view, it's just the constraints of this exact tournament. They kind of didn't give us too much to work with, so this is what we get. But I think it looks pretty good.
Well, for a side table view, I mean, can't really get any better or worse.
Yeah.
Excuse me, than what it is.
Yeah, this will do the trick.
It's one of those things that it just is what it is.
I think if you guys were watching last year, like I was mentioning that we'll probably see a lot of firepower on this table because it breaks so good.
Mm-hmm.
There was a match last year, I think. We saw a perfect match. I think it was Steven and Jason Kishnu. They were playing like a race to 7. And
Yep.
Jason like broke dry once and the score was 7-5 and they
Yep.
didn't miss a ball.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like perfect match to 5-5.
That was
10,
insane.
10 EROs and then he breaks dry and Steven runs 2 more. Like one of the craziest things you ever see in box pool, right? Thin shot is good, but where's this gonna end up?
Does it go by the 8 to the side?
I think probably not. It'll go in that bottom left, but that's a tricky shot.
It is. It brings the 8 into play, and at least the angle it shows here, it's going to track to that side pocket.
Yeah, you got to be careful how much you hit the 8.
Did she just call corner bank?
I think she called the corner, like she was kind of just pointing towards the bottom left. So she's going to thin it. The cue ball's going to just nudge the 8 a little, I think. I don't think it rubs it too much. Yeah, it just rubbed it. And if she cut it more, which she needed to, it would have rubbed it just a little bit more, but I don't think enough to do too much damage. Although, this is not as easy as it looks, jacked up over a ball.
No, the advantage that she's got, she's really just got to make the 9 ball with enough speed to get herself back up table for shape on, I think that's the
ball
12
she's
ball.
Shooting over, yeah.
A little bit hampered.
Yeah, just watch the 8 doesn't somehow come into play. These valley rails, they slide a little funny.
They do.
This won't go as straight as you would think.
Oh, she kind of miscued that a little bit, went off the side of the cue ball.
That's so hard shooting over a ball. You can be like straight in and 3 inches away from the pocket, and it's still tough.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to do anything with the cue ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes you only have like a fraction of the top of the ball too. Like it's just extreme.
Yeah,
top.
shooting hampered or off the beach is not a fun spot to be in.
Something I liked about when I switched to the Jacoby Black, just that little bit thinner taper. Like I was playing with like 12.75. That 12.3, well, it makes like rail shots and over a ball way easier because you get more meat of the tip on the ball, right?
Yep.
A little easier to hit center ball there than it was.
Well, and I think the transfer of power that the Black has also aids in that scenario. Nice shot.
That is a good shot. It's 1-1 here. As we were just talking about this Jacoby Black here, guys. That transfer of power is a lot of the sell on that.
100%.
When I have people demo it, I tell them, yeah, just try a little draw shot, and then they're always just shocked by how effortless it is.
Yeah. So if you are looking to get your hands on that Jacoby Black, we do get a little bit of a deal on them. If you want to get your hands on one, send us a message to the Q Sports Live Facebook page, and we'll get back to you. We'll let you know exactly how you can do that.
Just had to reach in the cue ball return there for a ball again. So you were right, and it was just one ball.
Just one, yeah.
And it was not the 2 ball.
The odd time, about every 4th or 5th rack, you'll get a cluster of them down there.
Yeah. There's lots of valleys around like that.
Yeah.
They don't know which ball's the cue ball. Well, this race to 3 can go pretty quick, so this is actually a really big rack here. You can try to get yourself on the hill, and at least you get 2 chances. Pretty good break, holy cow.
No doubt. He hit that fairly good.
I glanced it a little, so the cue ball went like off the head ball, off the rail, back into the pack. It kind of like spread
double
it
break.
a little more, yeah. Secondary action.
Right? Swapped a 20-pound milk dud. Can still draw as much with a Kamui Soft. Well, that's an element of the tip coming into play there, too.
See, Martin Taylor likes his techno dud.
11.75.
It's a little thin.
That's a little thin for me. That must be really whippy.
It's like a
at
Z.
11.75.
It's like a Z2. Yeah. It's not far off of something you could play snooker with. So I don't really recommend going that small, but everybody has something they like, different feel. Hence why there's like 50 different tips on the market.
Yeah.
Just brand names. And then there's like different levels of soft and hard for each one of those.
Well, Plums brings
choices.
up a good point, too. Queuing over a ball is never fun. Add in 180 plus viewers just on Facebook.
It's a mountain you're queuing over. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good point. For those that have not ever played on a live stream, as much as you feel pressure, not only having to try to play shape and play the right shots for your partner in Scotch doubles, But add in there the stream element pressure.
It's definitely a factor. The stream pressure is definitely a factor.
Well, and until you become acclimated to it,
It's still a factor.
it is still a factor.
Even once, I would say I'm fairly used to it,
I would
but it's
probably say that.
still there, you know?
Of course.
Still in the back of your mind, you're like, oh my God, everyone just saw me dog that ball.
Well, and it's more at your level, more the point of really not the shots that you make. It's what you don't make.
Oh, of course.
That always is the pressure for you guys.
I can run like 6 brilliant racks and then just make one mistake and feel like I played terrible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes I go back and watch and I think, I really didn't play that bad. I made 2 mistakes.
Yeah.
Can erase the 7, but it felt like the end of the world, right?
Well, of course.
Felt like I played so bad.
Yeah, but that's the implied pressure that you put on yourself,
Of course.
right? Where up at the level that you play at, that level of pressure is almost expected that you put that on yourself.
Well, I tell players a lot too. They're like, "Oh, that must have looked so bad." I'm like, it always feels worse when you're in it. You know, when you're the one playing the match.
Yeah.
But from outside looking in, it's really not ever as bad as you think it is.
It's
right?
so true. Because you're always your own worst critic.
Exactly.
Thanks for the great stream. Where are the brackets posted? They are on
CompuSport.
CompuSport. It'll be under the WCVNEA.
Actually, I think we missed your comment earlier, Precious.
We did,
If
but
Steven was playing, he is. But they're out of the Scotch now. At Spencer and Cher, and they're knocking off champs.
No doubt. Is Stephen playing singles?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh,
not
yeah.
team. Or is he playing
He's
team?
playing team
Okay,
as
there
well.
you go.
This is one of the leagues they allow him to play.
Yes.
Not without complaints, mind you.
Yeah, it's true.
Apparently, there's still some people that don't like playing good players, even though it's called the Masters Division.
Yes.
Like, I think they maybe need a different name for it.
Yeah.
Call it like the semi-pro division.
Yes.
Then it's like, if you're a pro, you're not allowed to play.
Yeah,
It's
there
called
you go.
semi-pro,
There
right?
you go. I like it. But even at that, and we were having this conversation, I think,
defines-
earlier today, where I'm of the mindset, why are you banning pros from league?
That's crazy.
How
Should
about
never
you
happen.
bring those guys back into league? Let me know how much I need to pay in order
Yeah.
to play against them, and I'll pay it.
Well, you know what?
Because that's the best lessons you're ever going to get.
You know what's the bottom line for me is that no one's playing league to make money. Like, if
Yeah.
you're playing league because you
Yeah.
think you're going to make money.
You're in the wrong sport.
Right. So, like, we don't come to this event to make money playing pool.
Yeah.
We come because it's a fun team event. You get to play a ton, and if you make money, it's just a bonus. And it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in the team events, let me tell you. No one's getting rich off winning team events.
I would wholeheartedly agree. And I'm of the mind, I don't care what you want as a league fee for me to do that.
Yeah, of course.
I will pay it, and I will gladly pay it.
Yeah, and
Right? Bring Shane back in. Bring Sky Woodward. Bring Corey Dool. Bring Mora. Bring Alex. Bring those guys back into league.
Yeah.
Tell me how much I need to pay. I'll sign up.
Right, and yeah, that's such an important note. Like, at this level, I think, and what we're paying now, no one should be complaining about who's playing.
Well, that gets into a conversation you and I have had before about you look at when I started playing league, and this is going back some time because I'm of the older variety. But when I started, I remember it was $20.
$20, yeah.
And here we are. I've been playing league for 28 years,
Still $20.
and it's still $20.
Yeah, we talk about that often, too.
Yeah. So, and people wonder why there's no money in the game. Okay, well, $20
Price of gas is
28 years ago was valued more than what $20 is today.
Yeah, you could get like a nice 3-bedroom in Calgary for like, $700 a month.
Right. So if truly we want money in the game, then we need to put money in the game.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And I think league fees should go up.
Yeah,
Now,
so-
I'm certainly on the lower side of the percentage of people that think this way.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
I think that's the way it should be done.
Be nice if everyone was just, wanting to play with where it is without complaining, but
Yeah.
that'll never happen.
Okay, I want you to
Somebody's always not happy.
witness this comment. Dave Harding says you can play me for $1. Just need a minimum of 50 games at a time.
Oh,
So a minimum of $50 I can make.
or you can lose 50. But yeah,
I'll have confidence in my own ability.
let's
right
say
now, Dave is going to say the same thing.
they'll probably
right?
win $49.
40.
But
Oh, I got to give him a game.
I think he might win one game on his own. You won't give it to him.
Man. I'm stingy with my $50.
Yeah, so Martin says pool players in league are cheap.
Yes.
That's mostly true. Like, the fees are cheap, the payouts are cheap. But, like, that's also why if there is a pro playing, you should be thankful that he's playing because he's not making money,
Yeah.
and he could be traveling the road playing better tournaments. But
Agreed.
instead he's out playing his local league,
Which,
should be good for everyone.
oh, no doubt, man.
The players that don't like it are looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah, and instead of picking the brains and looking at the way he does things and how he approaches and learning from that, they take it in a negative way. And I don't know, maybe that's the difference. I don't know.
I think that's
Because-
exactly the difference. Yeah.
I listen, if you had a league out there that hosted and kind of catered to the pro player, but allowed the non-pro player to get involved, but it would cost X.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how much X is, and I will sign up tomorrow.
There are some leagues coming. They're not quite like this.
Yes.
They're more geared towards singles and stuff anyway. It's not so much teams, but Todd says he's not complaining. Who wants action? Todd,
Todd always wants action.
I want action. This is going to be action-filled weekend.
It will. And listen, I'm not saying that there's no place for low caliber or anything. Yeah, anybody that's been along with Q Sports Live that knows that's not what I'm saying, because we are an equal opportunity stream. You don't have to be a pro player to get on and play. I'm a fan of pool, period. But for my own personal game, I don't put me up against Shane. Put
Yeah,
me
you just
against
want to play
Alec.
the best.
Yeah. Right? Do you know how valuable those lessons would be? You call it league fees, you call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm paying for the lessons.
Yeah, of course. And there are a lot of players out there still with that mindset.
Yeah.
We get a lot of them in these leagues that they do enjoy playing good players all the time.
Mhm.
And they know it's cheap.
Yes. And this is the beautiful part about leagues that I really, really do like, is there's a spot for everybody,
Yeah.
right? If
Well, you
you're
look
a
at-
player that just wants to come out, play, have a good time, there's a level of play for that. And I love that about leagues. You get this argument went around Calgary for a long time where, let's take it away from the leagues and put it back in the pool hall where it needs to be. And I looked at that and I went, no, you can't do that. Because, number one, pool halls nowadays, for the most part, serve alcohol. They have VLTs and so on and so forth. So it eliminates the ability for junior kids to come in and play.
Mm-hmm.
So leagues play an integral part of the health of the sport, and they have their place. They have their purpose, and it's one of the things I enjoy about league. It's a big happy family. It's not the pressure of playing in a pro event if you decide to go that route, right? But there's a spot for everybody within a league, and I like that aspect.
Yeah, even like Jim brings up, there's some league events in Vegas pay $16,000 for first place in the singles. That's APA
That
he's
is definitely
referring
APA.
to.
Yeah.
But like there's a league that includes everyone too, right?
Yep. That's a league built to include everyone.
Yeah. And this league is much similar to that, the VNEA. There's a lot of levels of play.
Mhm.
And there's singles, and there's scotch doubles, and there's 5-man teams, and
Right. But I mean,
men's,
all of
women's,
those leagues.
very inclusive.
Yeah, and all of those leagues, whether it's APA or VNEA or BCA or CCS or ACS, I mean, there's a ton of leagues out there. I think they serve more of a purpose in supporting pool as a sport as to what was kind of floating around Calgary there for a while where, oh, you know, the leagues don't deserve it and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you hear a lot of negative stuff about leagues, and I don't like that because they have a purpose
Oh,
and they're
of
fulfilling
course.
their purpose.
Of course. Thank you, Jory. Yeah, we're not going to do too much play-by-play
Yeah.
all the time. We like to take this time to talk about the important things too. So
Absolutely. And listen, we're live for the next 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't end until end of day Monday. There will be ample opportunity to tune in and get the play-by-play and kind of have Ben and I and Ryan jump in there every now and again to kind of dissect tables and you know, explain shots and all those kinds of things. Ample time for all of that. But we also like to like Ben said, take some time to kind of go over the important stuff.
there's a lot of important stuff that needs to be talked about in pool.
There's a ton. I could go on
there's-
this stuff.
Yeah.
I could go for hours.
Well, and a lot of it needs to be talked about for sure. Like Jack says, which pool halls have VLTs? Not many, especially not many on the West Coast anymore.
Yeah,
I find East Coast because the laws are a little bit different.
they are. There's a lot on the East Coast that have.
Like when we were in Charlottetown, they
Yep.
have some in a little back room.
Yep.
Kids are still allowed in there,
Yep.
but their laws are different out here. If you have a VLT out here, forget about having kids, right?
Yeah.
Looks
What's
like
going on, Mr. Rod Arriagata?
2-1.
CSL Winnipeg in the house. And for all of the viewers that are on now, you may have heard Rod out in Winnipeg doing his thing. We appreciate it, Rod. Todd says I need a good talking. And I do go on for hours about this stuff. You are correct, James. I'm passionate about pool. I love the game. And I do come by my opinions honestly. I try to look at both sides of the coin, both sides of the fence. And after I've looked at both sides, I'll draw my own conclusion. Right? Now, does that make me right? No.
No.
That makes me voicing my opinion. And my opinion is worth exactly what you all paid for it. Nothing. That's what my opinion is worth.
Exactly. In-house leagues are very important in pool rooms as well. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
like and in cities in general that have pool scenes. Lethbridge, still has VLTs in there. It's a little unfortunate
It does.
because I know for certain
Yeah.
there's not allowed kids in there.
Well, and I've
VLTs in there.
so and I know James says the same thing. I'm going to go on for hours, and I will. And I'll kind of give you the play-by-play of where my thought process is in the fact that yes, leagues, you know, they have their purpose and they're serving their purpose and so on and so forth. But when you look at our at billiards as a sport and some of the aspects that are missing, I've had this conversation at huge and great lengths with a lot of influential people in this industry, and there are pieces missing. There are links that are not linked that need to be there in order for the sport to gain what the other sports have. The notoriety, the outside sponsorships, the salaries, the all of those things. Is it possible for pool? It is. All of the pieces are there. They need to be linked. And I have my thoughts, theories, and ideas of how that can happen. These are the conversations that I've had with fellows like Jimmy White, and I know Johan thinks the same way that I do, or I think the same way he does. And these are the efforts that I want to put in, and that involves petitioning the government. It involves petitioning the AGLC in Alberta and all the other liquor control boards across Canada, and whatever the gaming commission in the States. These are all goals that I have, and I come by it honestly, and it's because I love this sport. For me, it's not just about the money. It's about this game. I want, when my kids grow up and they play this game, I want them to have opportunities within this game that we don't have today.
Absolutely. And that's what we were touching on earlier, right? Grant and I both have kids, so, and I know both or all three of those boys are going to want to play pool, so
Yeah.
I hope we can offer them something worthwhile.
Well,
Not that it isn't worthwhile now, but it can just be so much bigger.
it could be, and it could be so much better. And
Like I was watching curling on TV the other day. Like I just like watching sports, right?
Yeah.
So like if curling's on and it's like the 10th end or something and it's tied, I'll watch for like 2 ends or
Yeah.
something. But
well, the Briar's a big event.
it's
Right?
huge sponsor money. Like
Yeah.
I think it was Scotty's Tournament of Hearts. And even just like having Scotty's, and they have a lot of money in that game now. And it wasn't always like that. Curling was a very small game like pool not too long ago.
That's right. Well, I mean, at some point in history, all of the big leagues that are out there now that seemingly have it all, they all started where we are.
Hey, you look at golf before Tiger Woods, right?
That's right.
10 times the money now, or most recently, like with MMA and the way that's gone. They weren't making very much, and now Conor McGregor has them all making quite a bit more than they were before, right?
Exactly. And that's all it takes, right? But in order for that to culminate into something and have those sponsors and so on and so forth, there still has to be the structure within the game. And that's what's missing, is going from sub-junior, junior, through amateur rank, semi-pro, pro. That's what's missing, is the structure involved in saying this is how you accomplish becoming a pro player, right from soup to nuts.
Yeah, qualify. The nice thing is snooker's already like laid it out for us
Yeah.
and proven that it'll work on a big level.
Well, and the crazy thing is and again, this comes up in conversations that I've had with Jimmy White, and Jimmy says that those conversations are based on the same conversations that him and Johan had, so I know Johan thinks the same way, that all the pieces are there. They just need to be linked, and there's two different things, and I'm not going to go into what those are, but there's two different things that need to happen in order to make those links and make the future possible.
Oh, and they're getting there. You see
Yes.
Matchroom released the
Yes.
junior
Yes.
U.S. Junior Championship. That's what needed to happen.
Yeah.
They know because they've done it in snooker and they made snooker successful.
You bet.
And all we can pray is that they do the same thing again.
That's right. Well, and I
North
mean,
American
Matchroom
pool
is-
can be big, right?
Yeah, Matchroom is definitely going to kind of kick down some of the doors, but it's going to take more than, I think, more than just Matchroom to do it. We got to lobby governments and commissions and all of those kinds of things.
Oh, there's so much work that goes into it.
Yeah.
And they're still fighting for snooker, right? Like, there's no billiards at all in the Olympics. They're still fighting for that to be more
Although-
recognized as well.
One of the positive sides to that is at least the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, does recognize billiards as a sport,
Yeah,
which is not true with the government.
it wasn't always that way
It
either.
wasn't.
No, this is more recently that they just admitted
Yes.
it's not just a game.
Marty Blackstar, George Sanderson, Sean Yee, Bo Brisova, Gordon.
Well, sounds like they managed to finish or fill another Masters mini tournament.
There you go.
Heard them call Sean Yee.
You struggle with playing on a league team because it's like being married to it and just can't dedicate myself to it, but love to play challenge matches. Perhaps it's the outlook in which you're looking at league play.
League is tough.
I look at league this way. It's a great venue and a great avenue to kind of keep my game at a certain level. Now, throughout the league season, yes, my game goes up and down and varies and so on and so forth, but I'm not taking big breaks. I'm not a year off and what have you. And I also enjoy the social aspect, right? Probably more so than the playability throughout the year until we hit playoffs.
You know how I used to look at league? Well, I wouldn't say before I played on this team, but like on some other teams, was that it was just like I saved $20 a week for Vegas at the end of the year.
There you go.
It was interest-free savings account.
That's right.
Because more times than not, you at least kind of broke even on your league fees. Like you might make a few dollars, but it wasn't a lot. So it was kind of like, I showed up once a week, kept my game a little sharp, and I put away 20 a week towards Vegas in
That's
May,
it.
right?
Yeah, 100%. CJ says, I play in an APA league at a Griffith, Indiana. Really entertaining the idea of participating in one of your Canadian tournaments. We'd be able to suggest 1 or 2 tournaments. Yeah, there's specifically, I know more of the ones in Calgary because that's where we're from. But there is the Stampede Bar Box that's put on by the Hidden Spot. That's in July. That one's always a good event. There's some in Edmonton.
Lots of great events at Top Shots in Edmonton for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. It's a CSL
The
Invitational.
CSL Invitational. That one's a 10K added.
There's
always tournaments going
a
on.
lot of good ones out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like if you're playing in
The
APA
Mardi Gras
League,
that's coming out in BC is also coming up.
right? There's a ton of good tournaments in BC too. Like they just had a big qualifier for the U.S. Open 9 ball. And the APA, if you play in APA League, maybe you can qualify for the CPA APA Border Battle
Oh, yeah.
in Niagara Falls.
That's a great one,
That's
too.
really nice. It's maybe one of the more notable Canadian landmarks, even though we only get half of it.
That one's going to be a qualifier that you've got to qualify through APA.
Yeah, I think your team has to qualify, I believe. And yeah, any of the CPA events, which I know they have a lot of in Toronto. There are definitely a lot of CPA events out there. Said Indiana, so I guess that's not too far of a trip.
Well, the Wild Rose is the one that specifically came to mind from Top Shots in Edmonton.
Yeah, it's a big one, like
That one's a big,
100
big,
players.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Looks like you got action, Jim. Natasha wants to play.
Are we? Do we know if we're on the right score?
Yeah,
2-1.
I'm pretty sure it's still 2-1.
Okay.
As long as I mean, I've been known to get that wrong before, going talking
Oh,
off
yeah.
on a tangent somewhere. And oh, is it Hill now? No, it was because they're shaking hands.
Can we watch Master Minis? No.
No, but we're hoping that they'll put the final of the Masters over here. But can Grant and I stay awake that long? That's another question.
Well, I have to play tomorrow morning, so I don't know if I will be up much past midnight.
Yeah, I can't imagine you'll need to be. We'll see who they put over here. I know they're still quite a ways behind in that division. I mean, well over an hour now.
There you go. Wild Rose at Top Shots last week had over 100 players.
Won by a Calgary boy, should be noted. Tournaments in Edmonton, but Calgary players usually win it. Or last year, like, I don't know if you consider Stephen Calgary or Vancouver, but
I think that is more determined by him. Where does
who does he want to represent for that
Yeah.
event? All I know is that he was not representing Edmonton.
Scotch does historically run late.
We do know that,
We definitely know that.
and that's why no one's feelings will be hurt if we don't stay up all night to stream it.
Yeah,
I
there's
know this
no way.
event has split more times than it's been played out.
Yes. But hey, nonetheless, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, as I mentioned earlier, and Ben mirrors it, you don't have to be a certain level in order to play on our stream.
Advance number 7.
Right?
Wide open.
The difficulty for us, and truthfully why we're not doing a lot of commentating on the match, number one, we don't know either player on the teams. Secondly, trying to commentate on Scotch doubles is really, really tough. It's not like trying to commentate on a singles match where, you're getting into the head of a single player. And more often than not, in Scotch doubles play, with the added pressure that you feel by having to play shape for your opponent and so on and so forth, it's not necessarily always the shot that's the right shot that people play because of that added pressure. So it's a little bit tricky to commentate on.
It definitely is. Hopefully it's not freezing on your guys' end as well. Kind of just skipped a little there. James says Calgary players win because they don't work, they just play pool. What's funny about that, James, is the guy that won the tournament at Wild Rose, like he just finished going to school, started like a new job. He's like a social worker. Like the guy has a full-time job.
Yeah, it's true.
But he still went up there and won the tournament.
I've been watching Q Sports and really enjoyed your broadcasts, actually due to your great commentary. Make the tournament sound like a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun, CJ, and we appreciate that compliment for sure. But tournaments are always a lot of fun. And, specifically, and I said this in the prior broadcast, specifically when you talk about things like the WCVNEA or VNEA Vegas or APA, BCA, any of the bigger events, if you make it a priority to go to those, really it's like going to see extended family, right? And see people that you only get to see when you're in Vegas for VNEA or what have you. That to me is what makes Vegas Vegas.
Oh, it's so much fun. These tournaments are a blast. How does that ball not go in?
Right?
This table's,
does it not know it's played on a valley table?
Yeah, this table's maybe a little tighter than the average valley. Jim wants to know if we're related.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Are you and I related?
Yeah, he said can hardly tell the difference in y'all voices. No, we are not related, but we get that a lot.
We do.
The voice. Just wait till it's only one of us, and then you get to try to guess which one.
That's right. Yeah, the Predator 10 Ball Tour event that's coming up at Top Shots, March 6th to 8th. That will be a massive event.
Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed that I can't play in that event. I have my son's birthday on the 7th. Birthday party. Yeah, we look exactly alike. No. I've been mistaken for like Joe Spence had the running joke that I was Ozzy's son. I've been mistaken for looking like other pool players, but no, I don't think Grant and I look alike.
Yeah.
Mostly the height would be a big difference. You can tell we're not related.
Yeah. And Mr. Cody, I will answer your question. Why watch C Division players? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. Number one, on Q Sports Live, we're equal opportunity, where you don't have to be a pro level player in order to play on the stream. Secondly, if you're a real player, there's always going to be things to learn. Some of it is what you should do, and some of it is what you shouldn't do. That being said, I will ask once and once only. We'd appreciate you keeping comments on the positive nature. That's who we are here at Q Sports Live. And if you can keep your comments positive, we'll have a good time together.
Brett wants to know. Actually, this is pretty funny. Shannon says, my kid will have another birthday next year. No, I can't miss the birthday party. It's probably going to be way more fun than a pool tournament because it's at like a indoor inflatable playground.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, that's right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm still just a big kid.
You and your son are almost the same height.
Exactly. I want to play too, right? And what was this one? Said, Joe, Steven, and Brady all come to Spokane. When am I going to grace Spokane? I was actually there one year. If you remember, I was there the year that Joe lost to Brady in the final. I know Brady wins a lot, so I couldn't just say I was there the year Brady won.
Yeah.
But I have been to that tournament. I love that tournament.
No doubt. It wasn't that the Brady Golden Open there for
Yeah,
a
they
number
call
of
it
years.
the Spokane Open,
Yeah.
but they should call it the Brady Golden Open.
Yeah.
That's actually where I first met Damien.
Yep.
Jam
So with JB
Damien.
cases, how much movement is there in the fabric lining versus the hard insert? Been thinking of buying one, but I want to be nicking my shafts. Warranty.
Well, they
Still worried about it. Oh,
definitely
Bob, brother,
don't.
you got nothing to worry about.
They won't damage your shaft at
No.
all. It's like super soft, and there's
Yeah. You
There.
got nothing to worry about. Trust me. Go on, get yourself a JB case, and when you get it and you fall in love with it, you can thank me then.
Yeah, no, it's like maximum protection for your cue. Even like the soft inserts, they're like tight, so your cue doesn't even like wiggle around in there much. They're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't go wrong with it.
And like like I said earlier, I feel like the price is too cheap.
I think it can be cheap, or it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be, because of the options that they have on the JB Case website, from the type of fabric to coloring to the logos or whatever it is that you want to put, be it a 2x4, a 3x6, a 4x8. The options are virtually limitless.
And David brings up a good point there too. Yeah, like if you guys want to check him out on Facebook, he's got lots of cool little videos about every aspect of the cases there.
Yeah.
And Shannon's still laughing about the kids. She said she'd rather play pool than a bunch of kids running around all high on sugar. It's the most fun when they're that age.
Yeah, of course.
He's turning 7, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
CJ says, I'm actually playing in the APA MVP tournaments in the 8-ball and 9-ball skill level 5 for both Saturday and Sunday. The goal is to win and to go to the regionals, win regionals, and go to Vegas. That is a phenomenal goal, CJ. I can tell you the first time that I ever won a trip to Vegas, it was with SML leagues here in Calgary. And we won in the B division, and we won handily in the B division. And because we won handily, we went to Vegas with heads that were 4 times their normal size, thinking that we were going to do some damage down there. And man, did we have our eyes opened up.
This sounds like the same exact story that I would have told you about my first time winning a trip. We won in the B division. We thought we were pretty good pool players. We went to Vegas, and we got crushed.
Yeah. So it was a big eye-opener as to the true skill level of the higher-end players.
And the size of the game.
Yeah.
I had no idea
Yeah.
that there was like a tournament with 300 tables in it.
It was so unbelievable, right? And in those days, they used to have like the speed break contests and all kinds of things going on, and it was such a phenomenal time, and I've been addicted to it ever since.
Oh, yeah. Like the Vegas pool tournament is so addicting.
Yeah.
Like the maybe 2 years that I haven't gone, I just sat at home like super depressed the whole time.
Yeah.
That wasn't there with my friends like hanging out. It didn't even matter about the pool so much. It was like they're all there. I'm stuck at home, right?
Yeah. So if you've never been to Vegas, my advice is this.
Go to VNEA this year. It's the 40th anniversary.
That's definitely one for sure. It's going to be a party.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a party in Vegas for VNEA 40th anniversary this year. But if you are going for BCA, APA, one of the other ones, and it's your first time,
ACS will be an ACS.
yeah, go there with the absolute intended purpose of having a good time.
Oh,
take
yeah.
it in, because I'll tell you, it is absolutely mind-blowing when you walk into that room for the first time.
It's such a nice, like, test at the end of the year, too, to kind of see what you're made
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Because if you go there and you're not nervous, well, then you're not breathing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
You're
you
not
get there,
human.
you're going to be nervous because you played all year to get there. And then it's kind of a nice test to see where you're at,
Of course.
what you're made of.
It's a great time. It's a great time. I love it. And even to go to Vegas, and I know that your spot and your team is certainly different as far as your mentality going to Vegas, because you guys are going there to beat the world,
Yeah, it's a little tougher.
which you've
but-
done 3 times now, by the way.
But we still try to have fun.
Yes.
And if you watch that team,
That's what it is.
we do have a lot of fun. Like, sometimes too much. I think Johnny missed a ball last year because I joked too much, and then
Yes.
but he laughed about it.
Yes.
But he missed a ball because I had him laughing too much.
Yeah, and I think, but that's one of the differences on your guys' team. Now, I go there with the intended purpose of just having a good time. If I do well in pool, great, but I'm going to have a good time, right? Now, this is prior to me doing the stream and you doing the stream, I'm assuming, because we do a lot of work on the stream, and we kind of work harder than what we play there. But prior to that, my whole intended purpose was just go have fun. Right, and that's one of the aspects that I saw on your guys' team when I had to be thrown into the shark end of the pool and spare on your team in the Canadians, was the fact that you guys do. You have fun, and you know the temperature of your match, and it's very unique to your guys' team, where you know kind of the temperature of where the match is at, and if it's too hot and things are kind of getting out of control, that's when you break out the jokes,
Oh, yeah.
right?
And we're all very good at it,
yeah,
too.
yeah, and it's really unique to see, and I love that aspect.
Well,
of
we're all
your
such
guys'
good friends, too.
Yeah.
So you just know, like, you know the guy personally so well
Yeah,
that you just know when to say something, when
yeah.
not to say something.
But
right?
some of the stuff you guys say, and you laugh at it dang near puts you to your knees in laughter, right? And
That's what I
this is in
say.
a match.
It gets to be a little too much sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I said, Johnny missed a ball.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad about it, and he wasn't upset.
Yes.
Like, we both had a good laugh. It didn't cost us the match, thankfully. Like, obviously, I wouldn't
yes.
do that in a serious spot, but
Yeah.
it was quite funny. It was in the middle of a match in Vegas, the Masters division, when he laughed too much because I cracked a joke.
Yeah. So it looks like Lewison and Hamar, I'm guessing is how you say the name, came out victorious.
With a nice little finish there, mind
Yeah.
you, on the last game.
Indeed. Indeed. So here we are rambling along, and the match is done. Not sure when the next set of matches are going to be up and running, but I can tell you, at least from my perspective, I'm sure, Ben, you'll agree with me, for this entire broadcast, really not doing a lot of play-by-play. We appreciate you guys, sitting in with us, talking with us, conversing, really not talking so much about the game, but about the game.
But about the game, yeah.
Yeah. And we certainly appreciate it, because we've got a long 5 days to go. There's going to be tons of opportunity to tune in when we are doing play-by-play and so on and so forth. So for that, kudos to you guys. I do want to remind you that we do have the Viewer Advantage package going this weekend as well. It is kind of unique, $700 Canadian shopping spree. You can choose from any of the Q Sports Live sponsors, whether it's Jacoby, Jam Up Apparel, Thumper, Jump Break Cues, Brutal Game Gear, JB Cases. You can spend it at one or spread that money around. Spend it how you like. And if you do want in it, we are drawing that at the end of this event, so that'll happen at the end of day Monday. And if you do want in, qsportslive@gmail.com. If you're outside of Canada, send a message to the Q Sports Live page, and I will get back to you with how you can get in it to win it. That being said, I want to give one more shout out to one of our sponsors. Who's it going to be? We were talking about him once. We may as well say it again. We'll give a shout out to JB Cases. Speaking of them earlier, again, the quality and design, lifetime warranty. You can custom design it to your own specifications, any color combination. As I said before, the options are fairly limitless. jbcases.com is how you do it, guys. On behalf of myself, Ben Francis, the rest of the Q Sports Live team, we appreciate you sitting in with us, especially on this last session, because we really didn't talk about the play-by-play. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to get the next set of matches locked, loaded, ready to rock and roll. And we will return maybe 5 or 10 minutes from now. Until then, guys, have a great evening. We'll catch you back here in a few minutes.